Hello, stream. Hello, hello, hello. Today is something a little bit different than what we usually do. Let us switch over and surprise everybody. I am not the only person here on stream today. Today is the debuting stream of Lore Club. I am your host, Dagda Aeon, and today we have our humble tech priest, Sparty, who will be acting as our guide through the wonderful and weird world of Warhammer. Sparty, would you like to make our initial introductions, or should I also introduce who we have in our class today? Yeah, probably a good idea. Where is my camera? Ah, there we go. Let me switch over to our desk view. Over here we have our lovely audience. To the far left side we have Xeon Chaotica, our friendly dwarf who's currently specimering. Please do not worry about the horse. It is friendly. That is our Zakora, who is... Okay, maybe they're a little bit threatening. Worrying. After that, on their table, we have Razor Knight. And then the ever-present android, Ferris V5. And please ignore the dubious little creature in the corner over there. Actual dubious creature. It's, he has like such a threatening aura in that corner over there. Anyway, let us head back over here. In fact, let's get a much better view of our blackboard that doesn't exist, so Sparty's just drawing in the air. Sparty, what are we talking about today? This is why I have the eraser. So let me just pop in for a moment while, or do you want to continue? So, there we go. Oh shit. Hold on, Sparty. Hold on. I forgot to do something. I'm fucking stupid. I cannot undo. But shit. Which one of these?
And then, so the
Hold on.
administratum
Sparty, keep talking.
engulfs the entirety of the Milky Way, because the Imperium, this does not look like the fucking Milky Way at all, whatever. This squiggle represents the Milky Way. So the Imperium stretches the entirety of the Milky Way, the entire galaxy that we live in. Because the Emperor said something about stars being our birthright and so forth. And of course, when you have a government, an empire that big, the government is also going to be absolutely massive. We are talking not just a couple hundred officials, we are talking billions, uncounted trillions, quintillions of workers, day and night, scribbling, filing, archiving, arguing, killing each other because it's in their political interest.
Huh, so, Sparty, so it's not just one government, it's every government in the galaxy unified.
Yes, but let's save questions for when I am done with the lecture. Thank you.
Before you continue, Sparty, I need to do a quick audio thing. Give me like 1 moment. Okay?
Go shit, girl.
Yeah. I just need to... I forgot to import like a audio channel for the Discord thing over to the new scene, so...
Going swimmingly.
Oh, yeah, no. This is why this is a pilot test episode, and I was figuring I was going to fuck up something. But you should be good to go now.
Where was I?
Alright, go ahead, Gamma.
Let's see. Where was I? Cogitating. Yeah. Like I said, killing each other for their various political interests. They handle supply of the imperial arm, the military arm. They call it the Astra Militarum. That's dumb. It's the Imperial Guard. The Space Marines. They make sure that the naval ships, not just the war navy, but like merchant marine and all of that, remain supplied and stocked and have crew and astropaths and navigators. Let's see. Of course the oh yeah, they also handle the tithe, which is a fancy way of saying taxation.
Taxes.
Because every country ever has always had taxation. Yeah, has always had taxation. This is not going to stop 40,000 years in the future, but basically what the Imperium does is that it doesn't do it in money. It does it in resources. How much raw resource can a planet produce, and how much can they supply to the broader Imperium?
The stream can't say it, or I can't see this, but in the future there is only war and taxation from Sakura. Go ahead.
I'm going to shoot you.
Do it.
So yeah, for instance, in agri world, they will have X amount of crops, and food and meat and everything being shipped across the wider Imperium. Usually it ends on the table of the fucking nobles and as actual edible rations for the Imperial Guard. And I'm also segueing into... Yeah, I should probably, first of all, compartmentalize here and talk about every segment of the every division of the administratum. We have the departmentum unitorum, which is, as I said, the ones who supply all kinds of logistics and such for the Imperial Guard. Space Marines are a separate entity. They don't need to go through this to get what they want. Then there is the Departamento Exacta, which is the IRS. They oversee the collection of Imperial tithes. Imperial estates, it's record keeping of estates. The Historical Revision Unit, because not all history is correct in the eyes of the Imperium, and the Emperor is perfect and good and always right.
1984 bullshit. Typical shit.
Then there is, of course, the Imperial Fleet, not to be confused with the Imperial Navy, because they oversee everything from the trade navies to the war navies to just civilian craft in general. They're like a boating department almost. Then you have, the Departamento Colonia, which is just colony management. They figure out which planets are suitable for colonization and handle matters on like established colonies just like dotted all around the Imperium, like that. And then there is the sort of well-known Officio Assassinorum, which is where they keep the freaky, scary assassins like the Culexus, the Eversors, and the Vindicare snipers and whatnot. Then there is the Officio Sabatorum, which deals with like sapping, like damaging enemies, just sabotage and counter sabotage and all of that. Then we have the Logis Strategos, which is it's an intelligence and threat analysis, it says, but it's the Imperial CIA.
CIA, signal ops, whatever you want to call it. Just that general intelligence area.
The Officio Agriculture is, the ones responsible for the agri-worlds and making sure that food gets spread all over the Imperium so that they can keep enough people. That feels also wrong to say, but hey, it keeps people from sorta starving. The Officio Medicae, it is their health ministry, Ministry of Health, RIP MF Doom. There is the Ordo Tempestus. That is where the stormtroopers come from, but also our friends, the ones with the big hats, the commissars. There we go.
It almost looked like
angry
you were
eyes.
like one of those.
The big hat makes them feel special, okay?
I like your skull.
He's angry. Yeah, they are responsible for the guys with the big hats, the commissars, the ones that shoot you if you don't do what they say. Then you have the... What? That's a new officio. Oh my god, Gilliman has added a new thing that actually does what it's supposed to do, and it's called the Officio Logistratum.
Oh my god, he actually added in a dedicated logistics department?
They have a department of logistics now, hallelujah! But that is probably not doing much, considering
Okay,
Yes.
so quick context for everybody who's not familiar with like 40k stuff.
Oh, yeah.
The stuff that we're talking about with Gilliman, that is
That's
very,
coming later.
very recent history.
Recent history, but it's also... I will talk about the primarchs another time, because that is, a whole other bag of gummy worms.
Yeah.
Suffice it to say, they have a sort of acting regent now, and his name is... Guilli. Man. He is, the Primarch of the Ultramarines, which are the guys in the blue armor that you see on everything. Either way, he is currently the closest thing the Imperium has to an emperor. He has been given right. He has been talked to the emperor, etc., and has been given the okay. But that is getting off track. But either way, he has established a department of logistics. I'm sure it has alleviated some problems, but this is the Imperium.
5,000
Nothing is
fucking
ever
years
alleviated
without
for
the
long.
logistics department. Jesus Christ.
And,
I'm sorry, continue.
And then we have the planetary census, Abhumanis. They handle, keeping track of abhumans, which are humans that are different, but they aren't mutants. Like, for instance, take our friends, the Ogren. Let's see, do like a big hockey puck of a head. Like, there's his mouth, a big tooth, eye, and he has like little strands of hair on top. Our friend, the Ogren, they are an abhuman. They have nothing different to them from a standard human. They have all the same limbs, the same organs, skin, hair. The only thing is that during the Age of Strife, their planets were these high-gravity prison planets. And so they became kind of squat, kind of very, very muscular, but it also means they have a very, very tiny brain. They never get any smarter than, what should I say, like maybe a 4-year-old.
You're lucky if you
most.
have a Ogren that can count to 5.
That is revolutionary. Yeah, no, his name is Nork Dead Dog. He's on the story for another time. But yeah, no, they keep track of things like the Ogren, the Ratlings, the the Felinids. I don't know how fucking canon they are, but that's besides the point. But anyone who is a human, but they have different properties. So like, it's a fancy way of saying subhuman, but it's like in the literal sense of like they are a subspecies of humanity.
Yeah, it's not meant to be. It's not meant to be derogatory in. Well, this is the Imperium we're talking about.
Yeah,
but,
like this is thousands of years of planetary strife having caused human adaptation without mutation. And
a couple tens of thousands of years with humanity cut off from each other. Sometimes you get the evolution going in weird paths.
And here we get to the really funny ones, like the Departamento of Final Consideration, which is whether a planet receives help or not from other Imperial worlds if there is an attack or anything. So there is a whole ass fucking department at Terra, like around here-ish, that have to fucking get together, sit their fat asses down in the chairs, and argue on whether or not they should send help to the people being killed and murdered and other things by, say, a Dark Elder raiding party. And then you have the Patro Processium, which it just says processes paperwork, but that in of itself is okay. This leads nicely into what I want to talk about with how fucked the administratum is. But before we get to that, the Departamento Gradio, they grade paperwork, documents, all that. They give it grading of importance, and then you have the astrocartographia, which is just star mapping. Usually, the Mechanicus sends out from Mars. They set out these things called expeditionary fleets and explorators, and they go out and they find new planets to settle. Which ones are dangerous, which one are this, which is that, etc., 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 etc. And then they bring it all back, and then this department adds it to the star chart of the Imperium. The Questito Logistius is a whole department dedicated to calculate how long warp travel lasts from one planet to the other, and like how much time is it gonna be? How is the are they going to be trapped in a warp storm? How are the tides in the warp at that moment? Will they be spat out on time? Will they be spat out like 50,000 years in the future or in the past? Either way, they're there to make sure that people get through. Then you have the literati, which are just security for administratum, because people often don't like standing in lines that stretch from like here to Timbuktu every day, and so these people get rowdy, and then the security forces come in and like beat them to death with power moles or something. Then you have like the envoys of imperial commanders and rogue traders, which is a whole other fucking can of worms, but that's not why we're here. So, those are all the departments of the administratum. Any questions?
I was about to say, you were about to hit the 30-minute mark, Sparty. That was good timing.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Any questions?
I see Zikora, Geotrigan.
Yeah, Star Trek is
Star Trek is weird.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
just as like a quick jumping off point, Sparty. Chat has mostly been quiet right now, but I've been kind of expecting this to be like a lower profile stream. What I would... Are you drawing angry eyebrows on me again?
Mm-hmm. Go on.
God damn it. So, what I would ask you in regards to like all of this. How long has the Imperium effectively been running itself since the Emperor died?
Oh, that's easy. Yes. That number. Are 10,000 years since the Emperor fucking snuffed it. Well, he doesn't snuff it, but that's a whole other fucking thing.
Yeah, so just for context and elaboration, this is 10,000 years of bureaucracy that is effectively stagnated, and only just recently, because of Rebute Gilliman over here, has actually been able to start streamlining and adding in new departments to help sustain the Imperium as a whole.
It is at most, currently a stopgap solution.
Yeah.
He's trying his damnedest, but unfucking this is going to take time. Time they don't have, considering the...
Oh yeah, another
the Cicatrix
recent lore.
Maledictum.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there was a recent event in the lore within like the past when
so the
did
Imperium
Falcadia happen?
Yeah, so what happened with the Falcadia is a whole bunch of Necron nonsense. Either way, Abaddon got what he wanted, which is another thing, but the Eye of Terror, which is the biggest warp storm in the galaxy, shot itself and split the entire solar system in two. No, not solar system, galaxy in two.
Yeah, galaxy
so,
in two.
Getting through it, even through 3D space, is more or less impossible. There are like small pockets of stable space that can be slipped through, but those usually fall victim to a lot of just chaos raiding parties and everything else, so they're a motherfucker to get through.
There's effectively a massive warp storm of fuck that makes it impossible to travel, and effectively the Imperium is cut off from one half to another.
Yeah,
so you have
Terra
Imperium
Primus.
and then the Dark Imperium.
What is this? Ugh.
What?
It did like a weird thing. Whatever. But yeah, no, you have the Imperium Primus and you have the Imperium Nihilus, which are, yeah. Gilliman woke up on this side of the warp storm. His brother, which is another Primarch, named Lionel Johnson, he woke up on this side of the Imperium, so he is kind of doing shit over here. But officially, he has put the fucking chapter master of the Blood Angels. These are some shitty ass fucking renditions of the emblems, but I don't fucking care. I wasn't paid to draw.
Yeah, you need me to come in with
But
an eraser to kind of clean
the
this
chapter
shit
master
out.
of the Blood Angels is basically in charge of the administratum on this side of the rift, while Gilliman is in charge of the sort of stable part, no, the part that has earth in it. He is responsible for that part. And that's been going on now for a while. Necrons are plotting something. Maybe it'll close the rift. Maybe it won't. Who the fuck knows? I don't trust Trazen, but that's me. Any questions?
Are they able to communicate between the two halves?
No. Astropathic communication, which is how they can communicate between planets and systems, is through very strong psychics that can reach through the warp and deliver a message from one place to another. But due to the Cicatrix Maledictum, that has become impossible because of how unstable it is, and trying to push anything through is going to cause demons to happen. How dangerous could a warp zone really be? If there wasn't for a thing, this is kind of going a bit off topic, but a Geller field. So here you have an Imperial vessel, yeah, because they always have that white triangle on them, and they usually have something called a Geller field, which is a bubble of reality, for the lack of a better term, which is what they use to travel the warp. If they did not have this, the ship would be at best torn apart and destroyed, and the entire crew killed, at worst flooded with demons and given a fate worse than death. But yeah, as Racer says, astropathic communication is not possible with the other side. They can talk amongst themselves at Nihilus and Primus, but through it, it's not possible. Right. And now comes it's kind of like, is it? A little bit of a closing statement almost, I'd say. But here is the part that I've kind of been looking forward to. It is the thing that is going to make you feel glad that your office job today is how it is, and as much of a grind as it could feel like you are not a scribe in the administratum. So here is why. Let's say here, this is Jonathan. This is Jonathan. He is given a task to fill out the various requisition forms and other things for archival purposes. The problem is that usually the things that are in these forms is less like this, more like this. And so Jonathan here, he gets to work. He starts, writing down the things that need to be written. Jonathan dies of old age because he's been doing this his entire life, and he dies of old age. So his son, here is Gregory, his son, takes over the job his father did, Jonathan did. He continues with filling out all the things, like how much of this was sent there, how much of that was sent there, and then he keeps on writing and writing and writing, and then he croaks. Jonathan, what was his name? Gregory is dead.
Yeah, Gregory. Gregory is
dead. So his son, Filbert, takes over.
Filbert?
Yeah. His son Filbert takes over. He continues what his grandfather started doing. And he keeps doing that in his musty little cubicle that smells of fucking dust and books, and they have these very uncomfortable gray robes and whatnot, but that doesn't matter. They're there, they write down, they get food, they go home, they sleep 4 hours, they come back, and they do it all over again. So, whilst doing this, Filbert dies. His son, Marcus, takes over for him. So now we have the work his great-grandfather started some 100 years ago, and he is still going at it. He's still writing, he's still typing, he's still filling it in. But here is the part. These documents, they stopped mattering somewhere around Gregory. The documentation is completely irrelevant to anything that is going on in the Imperium when Gregory here was still writing it. So why does Marcus do it here? Because he's told to do it. So he just keeps filling it out, and then Marcus dies. So his son, Eduardo, he has a very big head, but he's not a mutant, takes over. Eduardo has the great honor of finishing this filling in of paperwork that his now great-great-grandfather started some 100+ years ago now. And what does he get for this? Nothing. It gets rolled up into a parchment like this, like that, and has a little seal in it. It gets shoved into a shelves that stretch for miles. We are talking like the city of like San Francisco or Miami. Yeah, that's about like a quarter of how big these fucking archives are. And then it gets like shoved in here, let's say. It gets shoved in there and never touched again. But Eduardo's work is not done, because now Eduardo gets to start a new filling out of documents. And now that is going to go on for the next 100 or so years until his great-great-grandson finishes it, and then it's going to get put in the shelf, and that is going to go on, and that has been going on for the last 10,000 years.
Once again, chiming in to say, this applies to every single job in the Imperium, effectively.
Yeah, but this is exactly what every single branch that I have talked about in the administratum, they all do this. This is all of them. All the paperwork, it takes generations to finish. It stops losing relevancy long before it is finished. Then it's scrolled up and shoved in a shelf where it will never be looked upon again. Just in the off chance, the one in a bajillion chance of these fuckers showing up. The Inquisition shows up, and it's like, oh yeah, we need the form from 40 years ago, or like 400. Fucking hell, what is this arrow? Like 400 years ago, where they had this, and this for an old historical engagement, and that, and that. Then maybe, I forget the first guy's name again. Either way, then suddenly,
Jonathan.
yeah, Jonathan's
Jonathan,
job, Jonathan's job and his entire lineage suddenly has some relevancy because an Inquisitor needed to check the archives. But that is very rare. That is very rare that data from 400 years ago is going to be relevant in the current day and age.
Oh yeah, once again chiming in. In case like something that was, in case there was something mistyped from like Jonathan or Gregory here, if something was mistyped and the Inquisition found out that there was a discrepancy, that's when the Armides get involved. The Imperium's law workers, judge, jury, and executioners, and they will smash
they come
the latest descendants head in. For that era
they
way
come
back
and they
here.
bonk Eduardo here on the head, because that is considered treachery. That his great-great-great-grandfather made a typo early on, and so it is considered void documentation. That document gets burnt. There's nothing left of it. There will never be anything of it ever again. It is considered wrong, which means, as punishment, Eduardo here has to start all over again with the old document. Meaning, they're gonna have to do it again just to fix a typo that was written by his great-great-great-grandfather 400 years ago.
And that's if the Armides are feeling generous that day.
No, that is if the Inquisitor considers it important.
Fair enough.
And Sparty,
Any questions?
all of this is also completely pointless in every way, correct? This is just done for tradition's sake, because that is the way it is done.
It is the way it is done. It is the way they do things in the Imperium. That is just how it is. The Emperor was supposed to make something more streamlined, but
The Imperium's bureaucracy is so enveloped in tradition and religion.
Actually, no, it's Malcador.
Yeah, it's Balcor. But the Imperium's bureaucracy is so mired and enveloped in the tradition and religion that is formed since the Emperor himself fucking died and gotten turned into the Golden Throne.
Well, died is a harsh term, but mortally challenged.
Skeleton.
Skeletal.
But regardless, this is what the Imperium has become since then. This is the only way that they've remembered to keep the bureaucracy going, is by turning it into these religious traditions and rituals that you have to keep doing on the off chance that it may end up being relevant for someone later down the line.
Maybe.
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 Of course, this was not supposed to always be like this. Malcador had reforms and such in mind, but then, Horus and all of that, which is a whole other can of worms in of itself, the Horus heresy. Which, yeah. Actually, no, we need to... Next time, I will be if there is ever a next time, unless I'm shot in the meantime, but...
We'll probably be talking about Warhammer stuff again soon.
Yeah, next time I get to Yap, I will be talking about the and the Thunder Warriors before them that held that title, but that is just like a footnote. But yeah, next lesson will be the primarchs, the the genetic sons of the Emperor, and overall just a colorful bunch is an understatement to call them colorful. More like a
statement.
the most dysfunctional family ever fucking created is more fitting.
Yeah, the funny thing is, Sparty, we've only been going for almost 50 minutes right now. If you wanted to, you could actually launch into a primarchs discussion if everybody else was
Oh my god.
up for it.
Do you guys want me to get
Do it.
into the
Do it,
prime?
do it, do it.
Okay. Anybody else? Go for it. Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh boy. Time for Can of Worm
Ferris
number 2.
Racer, are you guys up for it, or?
I'm fine, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just chilling and playing Dragon Commander while listening to Sparty tell many stories.
So, well, since we have time, I'm now going to talk to you all about the Emperor's baby batter, his sons, the
God, I hate how you
primarchs.
put that.
Why did I fucking get rid of it? P-R-I... fuck it. The primarchs.
Porn.
Yeah, I accidentally wrote porn. The porn. The Emperor's baby batter.
Blue is listening from a distance, but working on dinner. Okay. Glad to see you, Blue.
Primarch. What does the word mean? I don't fucking know. Nobody knows. The Emperor
Stupid
knows.
made-up high gothic bullshit.
Yeah, it means something. The Emperor probably meant something, but either way.
It's like
the
astronaut.
title
It
originated-
means something for someone, but
I'm sorry, what was the word?
Primarch?
Oh.
Yeah. The title was originally used by the Thunder Warriors, which are prototype space marines that the Emperor made while to conquer Terra for him during the Unification War, whilst he plotted and schemed and made his primarchs. But for them, for the Thunder Warriors, that was just a title. There was nothing special about them. They were just the leader of the various segments of Thunder Warriors. There was nothing special about them, only the name and the power they held by the rank. The actual primarchs, there are 20 of them, or 18, and if you want to be the fucking heresy meme fuckers, whatever,
yeah.
20. I'm saying it's 20. 2 of them are redacted. That is why they say it's 18, but it's 20. Either way, 20 sons of the Emperor. He tried to make them from just his DNA at first. He found out that it was a lot harder to create a stable embryo with just his DNA. So he enlisted the help from another perpetual, which the Emperor is, and it's just a fancy way of saying immortal, but Urda. She proved to be the solution to his problem, because you can't have a baby without a man and a woman. So they spliced their DNA together, and you got a human wiggly and a human egg thingy, and you bang, Primarch. Either way, this created a stable embryo that could be cultivated into a human or humanoid. But the Emperor didn't stop there, of course. I need a drink.
Yeah, I also took one, so you're fine.
So the Emperor didn't stop at just creating, a happy family for himself. These were all on purpose. These were all created to be his generals. 20 generals of genetically enhanced, way above and beyond any Thunder Warrior, any Space Marine, maybe even the Custodians themselves. which are the Emperor's personal bodyguard, but they are designed to basically be demigods. There is no other way around it. They are demigods. They are super fast, super smart, super strong. They have charisma out the ass, unless it's like fucking Conrad, but hey.
We don't talk about Conrad in that regard.
We talk about Conrad because we're going to talk about the 20, but that comes when that comes. Yeah, these sons, we don't know how different they are from Space Marines in terms of organ implants and all of that. Some primarchs had black carapaces, which is a piece of gene seed used to interface with power armor so that it doesn't become like weighty and bulky. But some of them did, not all of them. Fulgrim was one of them. That is how we know that they had that, and that they had 4 lungs like the Marines is because Horus had them. But either way, 20 sons, 20 super god sons. Now, depending on who you ask, mainly chaos butt sluts.
What the fuck are you talking about over here?
I'm not
You
looking
talking
at
shit?
According to followers of chaos, they say that even with, Erda's help and a stable embryo and all of that, he needed more help. And that he for some reason made a bargain with the dark gods to get the enlightenment and knowledge to make the primarchs and such. But what people forget is that the Emperor isn't just an emperor. He is a fuck. He's a fuck too, but that's besides the point.
He is a massive fuck, but
Nerd bit.
Yeah, he is a scientist. He is a biologist and a geneticist of a caliber unseen and unheard of by humanity to this day in our current scientific communities. He is, for all intents and purposes, an alchemist. He is so good at this shit that the whole theory about like the dark gods enlightening him, it just feels like fucking bullshit to me.
I'd say even as like a chaos aligned motherfucker, I don't think he had help with the primarchs.
Yeah, no, he was a brilliant scientist. He had enormous amounts of various scientists created, or rather recruited from around Terra and Luna to create the Primarchs.
Yeah, if he had help, it was mortal help. I don't think the Chaos Gods had anything to do with it.
Imagine Black
Hey guys,
Mesa.
Ix says join the world. We may need to send someone to go find them.
I'll go do it. Camera
Alright.
will be still for a little bit.
Shutting down. Standby mode activated.
Yeah, there's the. Yeah, we're over in here. Yeah, we're in this room. We now have alright.
Exiting standby mode. So yeah, imagine Black Mesa, but like the scientists don't fucking cause the end of the world, first of all, but it is like a vast science complex underneath the Himalayan mountains that we know them as today. Like deep beneath this, there are these enormous halls, hallways, rooms. Their scientists are toiling and working day and night on refining gene seed and studying the development process. Like they make a batch of gene seed, they take it out, they dissect it, they check it for faults on the genetic level, and then they engineer the faults out, and then they make another batch, and they keep doing this until it's, well, considered close to perfect. And that's what they did. But they also did this for the primarchs. So the emperor and his many scientists cultivate in these absolutely sub-zero temperatures. Like these, the place, the chamber where the primarch gestation pods and primary gene seed experimentation took place was so cold that if the scientists didn't wear these full body hazmat suits or environmental suits, HEV suits, that had like these super strong heaters in them, they would have frozen to death instantly. Like, it is so cold that oxygen freezes. Those were the conditions they needed to work in. But of course they had suits and all of that, so they were fine, they were comfortable. Either way, they did this, they worked, they toiled, they developed. The primarchs were just gestating, they were doing a really good job. They were finalizing the gene seed for implantation in creating space marines and all of that. He was very close to just, getting it the way he wanted it to be. Chaos, on the other hand, had other ideas. They sent marines from one of the legions he made back through time in order to sabotage. So here's the gestation pods. They're protected by a Geller field of immeasurable proportions. This is like Chaos could not touch this even if they wanted to, but they could send marines of the word bearers back in time, and they did that. Yeah, and Argel Tal, who was the character we followed in that book, he destroys the connectors for the Geller field, meaning that the forces of Chaos can open up a big ass warp portal here and just suck them all out of suck the pods out of their housings, and then just spread them all over. This is kind of getting hard. Spread them all over the galaxy. The pods.
I can't.
Yeah. Like they spread them all out across the galaxy, and these various gestation pods land on different human-habited planets. That was something the gods had planned. They were sending them to planets that were inhabited, and there they would be at a stage of gestation where they could leave their pods. They were about the age of a toddler.
Yeah.
A very, very, very big toddler, but a toddler. So they landed on 20 different planets, and this, of course, these 20 planets having different cultures and environments, means that the primarchs grew up with different personalities, different likes and dislikes. They more or less grow up in different conditions that creates completely different personalities and like who they are, their names, and all of that. If the Emperor had his way, his children would just be named shit like fucking Septimus, and then like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's not very good at naming things.
It'd be like numbers in High Gothic.
Yeah, he would name them all numbers because for him they were tools. They were supposed to be tools of war. They were supposed to be generals. They were not his sons. He never considered them his sons. He considered them his sons in the way Geppetto would consider Pinocchio his son. Or rather, his twisted view, the mangled version of Pinocchio. Like, they call him father. He allows them to call him father. But when asked about this by someone named Arkan Land, yes, the discoverer of the Land Raider, he answered that he started talking about the story of Pinocchio and about how he is an artificial form of life, but he still called his creator father, even though his father wasn't, his father. Then that's just how detached the Emperor put himself. But I'm getting ahead of myself.
There's some other stuff that may be relevant to that, but that's not currently relevant for this conversation.
Anyways, the Emperor comes into his laboratory, finds all his primarchs missing, and he goes like, well, shit. But at least the Chaos Gods did not make it off with the gene seed technology, so he could still progress with his plans for creating legions of Space Marines. So he does that, and of course, he sets out for Mars and makes allies with them so that he can have ships, so that he can go out into the galaxy, find his Primarchs, and bring them all back to Terra. Like, bring them all back. So he does that, and they mingle, they get known with each other. There's a great story about Ferrus Manus, the Primarch of the Iron Hands, which is my Primarch, and Fulgrim, the Primarch of the Emperor's Children, meeting at a forge on Terra. And they were looking to both create the most perfect weapon they have ever created. And so they make a competition of it. Ferrus Manus Fulgrim makes a Warhammer of immaculate proportions. And Ferrus Manus makes a brilliant sword that is so perfectly made that it always has a golden shine to it. And then they both look at it and it's like, you should have this. And then they exchange the weapons, and that kind of cemented their friendship as brothers.
Oh yeah, no, it's like genuinely like borderline bromance.
Yeah, no, they toiled and they smithed and they punched metal and everything until it was perfect, and then they gave the weapon to each other because they considered the other one's perfect, and so it made a good gift. Anyway, this is all done. He has his Primarchs, he has his legions. Now this is a bit of deep lore, but I feel like some people would appreciate this context like Razor. The 2nd and 11th Primarch are the Primarchs that are redacted from Imperial records.
Yeah, what's up with that?
There. What was that?
What's up with that? Why have they been redacted?
I'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were also there. Every Primarch, all 20 of them, were on Terra when the Emperor had gathered them all. I figured that would be interesting, but then they set out. They set out amongst the stars to reclaim what was humanity's birthright, reunite all the scattered and lost colonies of man, and bringing them to compliance either through diplomacy or, in most cases, brute fucking force.
Mostly brute fucking force.
Yeah, and they get really good at it. They conquer and
Go
they
Inquisitors!
conquer. Yeah. They
Go
conquer.
Inquisitors!
Inquisitors.
The Inquisition wasn't quite a thing yet.
Yeah, no, they came in much later. Anyway,
there's
yeah, they conquer and they conquer and they smash aliens they find, no matter how developed and underdeveloped the aliens were, they fucking killed them. They wiped them out. They killed humans that refused compliance and unity until they submitted and complied. Of course, they didn't like this part, but they still did it. But that was not their primary goal. But what can you do? Some people like their independence. The Emperor doesn't. They do all this, and everything is hunky-dory. Now I realized that I've forgotten to write down the Primarchs. Okay, so we have
here comes
the
names.
First Legion. Do a fancy Roman I. That is the Dark Angels. Their Primarch is Lion L. Johnson. Lionel Johnson. The Lion. He's just a guy with the long hair. He's from a planet that is very King Arthur. And that's the Round Table in Caliban.
He is also gay.
Probably gay. But
More than likely gay, considering who he's named
But that is just
after.
your wishful thinking, you know.
He is more
Most
than
likely
likely gay.
Yeah.
most likely gay.
Then we have Primarch of the 2nd Legion. His name?
Redacted.
Knows. Redacted.
Redacted.
Exactly. His name is Redacted. Why? Because he did something that pissed off the Emperor so much that he didn't have him killed. That is something they allude to in the books. That is another one of the things. None of them, neither are dead, but exiled or imprisoned. Either way, they did something so bad that the Emperor completely struck their names from the records, broke their legions apart, and scattered them amongst the other remaining loyal legions, or well, the other outstanding legions, and that was that. And like mind wiped those legionnaires, so they remember nothing of their Primarch. And the other Primarchs have sworn themselves to silence. Even today, 10,000 years later, when there are Chaos Primarchs, they have fallen completely to fucking chaos. Even then, none of them will talk about them, no matter what. Fulgrim won't talk about them. Magnus won't talk about them. Angron is incapable of talking about them, and Mortarion won't talk about them.
We'll talk about what's up with Angron in not too long, but
He's very angry.
it's
It's in his name. It's in his job description. Anyways, yeah.
But
so he did something so bad, the Emperor erased him. He was willing to let go of an entire legion, an entire asset of a legion, because they did something so fucking bad.
Anyway,
so when did they go into the chaos side?
That is later.
Okay.
Primarch
Apologies,
of...
but I'm going to hop off now.
Go poop.
All right.
Primarch of the 3rd Legion, Emperor's Children. Fulgrim, a fop, a snob, a bit of a bitch and a petty bastard. I talked to him. I talked about him in one of your book readings, Zion.
Yeah.
He is an extreme manipulator and all of that shit. He is a cunt. Either way, his thing, perfection, beauty, all of that, grew up on a world called Chemos, turned it from an absolute chemical shit dump into a beautiful and verdant planet before the Emperor came and got him. Oh, I should probably also say that Lionel Johnson, he was a fucking feral cave child in the forests of Caliban for most of his life, before he was like brought in and tamed by the Knights of Caliban and taught to read and write. But yeah, that's Fulgrim. I think this is... No, wait, shit. Oh, fuck. I think this is 4.
It's I am
4th.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I'm gonna actually have to switch this. I'm gonna have to switch from the administratum to the primarchs. Oh yes, the 4th Legion, the Iron Warriors.
Good old Perturabo.
Perturabo. A grouchy man, a very, very, very bitter, grouchy man, but not yet. He grew up on a planet called Olympia, where he was, it was space Greece. He was taught the values of democracy and the power of voting and all the good stuff that comes with democracy, So of course, when the Emperor comes,
real Super Earth.
Yeah. So the Emperor comes around and is like, that's fucking stupid, and just takes him with him. That of course makes him very bitter, very, very bitter, because he has grown up his entire life knowing that that this system works and all of that, but the Emperor doesn't fucking care. He's the Emperor. He's a fucking asshole.
Interrupting you for a moment, Sparty, just to say hi, Vicky. Hi, Vicky.
Hi, Vicky Va. And yeah. Arch Nemesis, Rogel Dorn. He does siege. He is specialized in siege warfare, but he really wants to build forts. But that was Dorn's job.
Yeah, both Perturabo and Rogel Dorn really like architecture, But Perturabo got the unfortunate job of having to break the architecture that he wanted to keep intact.
Yeah, so to put it into context, Rogaldorn was a city builder. Perturabo was a civil engineer responsible for infrastructure and all of that. Anyway, moving on to the 5th Legion.
The Vendetta. Wrong.
Cue the throat singing here.
Primarch Jagatai Khan from the world of Chigoris, which is like a mixture of Mongolia, China, and Japan. They are a mishmash of various cultures. Dag really likes like the more Chinese side of it.
Yeah, various
Like-
East
I can
Asian
tell.
cultures.
Yeah, he is a warrior and a warlord of unprecedented like skill. He is an incredible swordsman. He likes to go fast on motorcycles. He likes hawks. He likes to tend hawks. He likes everything that a Mongolian likes. But he's also reserved and wise, like the ancient Chinese. He will just drop truth bombs and words of wisdom at a moment's notice if it's needed. He is basically what every Asian should strive to be. He is an incredible man.
One of the best
He,
things that Alpha Busa did with text-to-speech was actually get more eyes on the White Scars, not gonna lie. Go ahead,
Yeah.
sorry.
Thing about him is that his sword, he has a absolutely massive Dao, like the Chinese sword. It is unpowered. There is nothing fancy about it. It is a really good and really sharp metal sword. Nothing special about it. And he absolutely rocks people's shit with it.
It's so cool, though.
He's sharp and he's sharp-witted, and he always knows how to make the other primarchs calm the fuck down. Him and Fulgrim have like a bit of a beef at one point, and that's very funny. Either way, time for the EI Legion, which is the 6th Legion. Space Wolves.
Yes, the Space Furries.
Yay, Space Furries.
They were originally supposed to be Space Vikings, and then they started focusing more and more on the wolf part.
Yeah.
Space
Lehman
Furries.
Russ. Lehman Russ is their Primarch. He, yes, he's also the one that is the tank is named after. He's also supposed to be a bit of Slavic culture in there, but that has been completely fucking lost. There's just nothing but Viking and stuff now.
Yeah, it's almost entire. There's some of the smaller chapters that have taken up the Slavic descent, but
Yeah.
it's mostly
Like,
just,
it's all in
Viking.
the Rus part. He's supposed to be like early Slavic people. Either way, not as dumb as he fucking looks and acts. He is from Fenris, a planet of just,
Wolves.
cold. It is cold. Very cold. Big angry wolf monsters. Cold. Which is why there are the wolves.
I want to say in like one of the more recent books, Magnus has actually gone on record saying that Russ was probably about as smart as he was. It's just that Russ didn't have any patience whatsoever about it.
Yeah.
Huh.
Lehman
well-
Russ pretends to be a barbarian. So my friend Bang put it best once. So Lionel Johnson, he pretends to be a knight, an Arthurian knight, and all of that, but he is just straight up a barbarian. He is fucking as feral as they come. Lehman Russ, he pretends to be a barbarian and a Viking, but he is more knight-like than Lionel Johnson will ever be. He knows about, he understands honor and duty and all of that. He's just a he has a very loud mouth on him. He is not afraid to speak his mind, even if it is in his fucking detriment. There's also the joke about that he cannot read or write because he's a fucking feral wolfman, but that is more on Lionel Johnson
Like I
than
said,
anything.
he is genuinely a lot smarter than he presents himself.
Yeah, no, he has written several poetic books and all of that shit, but the way the Emperor recruited him is that he showed himself to Lehman Russ. Lehman Russ was like, okay, but you gotta prove yourself to me. And the Emperor's like, okay. And then they do a bunch of competitions, like straight out of the old Eddas. There is an eating competition, which Lehman wins. Then there is a competition of strength. The Emperor fucking rocks him. And eventually, they come to a stalemate that is only broken because the Emperor cheated. Whatever.
Yeah.
Either way, he proved himself to Lehman Russ and was like, "Come along, we're going to space." And so he did. Awu, etc. Okay.
Yeah, 7th Legion was Horus, wasn't it? Or am I thinking of a different one?
They were the 13th.
Oh shit, yeah, Raven Guard was 13th. Who's the 7th?
And then the Funny Boys.
Oh shit. I should
do you
have
mean Funny
remembered
Boys?
that it was Rogel.
The Imperial Fists. Primarch Rogel Dorn. He is
That's my boy.
in every sense of the word autistic and a block of concrete. He is straightforward. He is brutally honest. He will never ever tell you a lie his entire life. And then he will surprise the fuck out of you one day by telling a joke, and it's actually funny.
He's so
like-
loyal.
Nice.
Yeah. He will just fucking just suddenly out of nowhere tell you a joke. It's like, wait, what? You have to like do a double take because it's like, was that a joke? Either way, from the planet of Inuit, a cold and harsh planet, not as bad as Fenris, but still rough. His father, adoptive father, really strict man, and all of that.
How strict was he?
Oh, he was very strict. He's like,
Did we ever
super
figure out
strict.
what the like real world counterpart to Dorn's planet was supposed to be? I always figured he was like British.
It's more Germanic, but whatever.
Germanic, yeah.
Either way,
Germanic
he has a
makes
very
sense.
strict father. Sees a old spaceship in orbit around the planet. He decides that his life's work is, I'm going to fix this, father. And then he goes and fixes this gigantic fuck of a spaceship. This giant spaceship would eventually become the Phalanx, which is the main base of the Imperial Fists to this day. It is an absolute colossus. It is not built into a meteor. It is a spaceship through and through, built from the ground up by someone. There has been no corners cut. It is a colossus. It is an armored behemoth of unrelenting fucking power with guns for fucking days. And he was setting out to do his stuff when the Emperor found him, and the Emperor was like, hey, come tag along, we're going on a crusade. It's like, okay. He still keeps a cape.
In the Discord.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he also has a cape of his father's that he kind of uses as a snuggie blankie. Him and Portoromo both have a snuggie blankie.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, he cares. It is just a very weird. He cares in a way that we don't really understand.
May I quickly say something in reference to Rogaldorn and his homeworld?
No, go on.
Yeah.
So it turns out that the most likely real-world counterpart to where he's from is somewhere up near Norway and Sweden, because he's from a really inhospitable, icy area of the galaxy. his homeworld is labeled as Arctic and uninhabitable. Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
struggling
no.
with thinking because I'm still waking up.
He is, and that of course taught him to, become a very strict man.
Makes sense that he would actually be Swedish then. Like if
He is a man of necessity. He is a man of duty. He's a man of honor, etc., etc.
yeah.
This thing is dog shit for depth perception. Anyway, yeah, sure, fuck it, we'll do it there. Okay, this would be VIII. That is what?
Eighth.
8.
Eighth.
Eighth.
I'm just gonna write
Eight.
the name and not say anything first.
Crazy 8s.
Oh fuck. Oh,
I can't
fuck.
see.
Here we go. It'll this is somebody
Conrad
that's a
Kurz, the Primarch of the Night Lords. If you take the Batman who laughs and combine him with normal Batman, and then you fucking just make it worse, way worse. He was supposed to be the Emperor's judge, sort of thing. He has limited future sight, but it has become all kinds of fucked up. And his sense of justice is everyone dies. Grew up on a world named Nostromo, where the only thing there is just crime. It is Gotham on meth. There is nothing but crime, and more crime. And so
Los
he
Angeles,
takes on,
1994.
yeah,
basically.
and this makes him take on the persona of the Night Haunter, which is an equivalent of Batman, except every infraction, every single law broken, you're getting skinned. He is skinning you alive and leaving you as a sad example to the rest.
So he's Red Hood.
Yeah, he's dirty, he's filthy, he fucking stinks. And the Emperor basically had to get him in with a fucking with one of those things they do for dogs with the stick and such. Basically had to wrangle him like that to get him fucking to go with him. His entire legion is about shock tactics. It's about scaring the fuck out of any population. The entire legion is consistent of just scum and villains and just the most heinous people you will ever meet in your life. And they're getting turned into space marines. And they really like to skin and mutilate people and leave their corpses for people to find. They are serial killers in the worst sense.
I want to point out real quick, this is one of the ones where the Emperor said, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you have two over
Oh
here.
no. What the fuck did 2 do? What did you do, Mr. 2?
And we have no clue. Mr. 2.
It's the boy!
The ninth Primarch, Sanguinius, Blood Angels.
Oh.
He
okay.
is probably one of the kindest Primarchs of them, except for Vulcan and maybe a few others, but comes from the world of Baal, a harsh, irradiated ball of fucking dirt floating in space, manages to put it together into a fully functional society. He is as much Baal as Baal is him, something hideous and violent turned into something absolutely beautiful. Beauty comes naturally to the Blood Angels. Whenever they go through the Space Marine process, a side effect is that they get very beautiful golden blonde hair, and their features are just striking, no matter what. They are beautiful.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just thinking about Uncle Ruckus
Mm-hmm.
in that one scene in Boondocks.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Now, as the side effect, for whatever reason, there is a gene seed defect with Sanguinius's Legion, and they're all vampires. Don't know how that
they
happened.
have. So before he, before that happened, there was something a thing that went through their gene seed called the Red Thirst. It meant that they were basically, they needed to drink blood to make this stop. Basically, it was a compulsion they needed to do. They needed to drink blood.
By the way,
And,
hi Foxy, thanks for the sub.
And yeah, that is, the ugly side. There's supposed to be like a dark and light side to him. Like, he is a beautiful man. He is kind. He is sweet. But on the other side, he is probably one of the biggest murder machines in the fucking of the fucking primarchs, and that is considering like fucking the Angron. And then we have another one of my boys.
Oh, we
You
had
need a shot of-
Ferris Manus now? Hell yeah.
The 10th Legion, Iron Hands, Ferris Manus. He is my Primarch. He is probably as autistic as Dorn is, but for other reasons. He grew up on Medusa, which is a highly inhospitable planet, where people ration and basically you have to earn your keep in every conceivable way in order to survive. And he, of course, learned this lesson. And what it was also, once upon a time, was a mining colony during the golden age of the Imperium. So it has a lot of Dark Age technology. Most of it twisted by the warp. He has in place something in the vast mines of Medusa called the Keys to Hell. And those are sealed vaults containing various Dark Age technology and alien artifacts and whatnot that are too fucked up to use. Like, even the Imperium should not have this technology. He considers it too dangerous. And, of course, the reason why he has his Iron Hands is because he fought some kind of Necron construct. The only way he found out that he could kill it is by dunking it in lava and hold it under until it melted. As a side effect, the living metal of the Necrons fused to the skin of his arms, so they're just metal now. He feels just fine, and he can sense and everything, but they are cold iron. They are cold steel metal. Which is also why he can do cold blacksmithing. He can shape metal. He can smith with his bare hands. He can punch the metal into a shape he wants. He made a gun for Vulcan by just shaping it with his hands.
Keep in mind, Vulcan is also one of the Imperium's best smiths in and of himself. That's how good Ferris Manus is.
The 11th Legion, also redacted. Why? Who knows? In the Dark Cells, underneath the Imperial Palace on Terra, which is kind of like the Emperor's personal SCP Foundation place, there is a prisoner, an object or a cell referred to as Subject 11, which is most likely where this little fucker is sitting. He probably did something that the Emperor really didn't like, and as such, his legion was wiped out, just like the second, or it was split up, and he was whisked away, just like number 2. We have no idea who he was, what he did, or why.
Thank you for doing that, Sakura. I was trying to get my mouse off of the thing, but it was being a little bitchy. Oh boy, now we get to talk about the fuck shit that Angron went through.
The 12th Legion, Angron. World Eaters. He crashed on a planet. I forget the name of it. It should be here. New Syria.
That's
It is basically So if McCrag for the Ultramarines is Space Rome in the good way, Nuceria is Space Rome in the bad way. He was taken in as a slave. His head was damaged during his crash on the planet. So the slavers installed something called the Butcher's Nails into his skull to replace the missing brain parts. And what the Butcher's Nails does is that it removes it affects the center of that releases pleasure, so from you doing good things and doing things that make you feel good. You cannot do anything. You don't get anything from it unless you're feeling absolute fucking piss ass rage at all times. He can only feel good if he's angry. It is a fucked contraption that has been strapped to his head, meaning he's no better than a fucking feral animal these days. The Emperor comes to bring him out. This is also the Emperor's fault, what I'm about to say. Yeah. This is entirely his fault. Sue me. But he comes to Nuceria to bring Angron home. Angron has, in the meantime, broken out of the Colosseums and such with his fellow gladiators, because he was a gladiator, and they were making a final stand in one of the mountains of Nuceria. The Emperor shows up. Instead of helping Angron, instead of killing his pursuers and like taking his friends with him, his fellow gladiators that he has fought and bled and died with and created deep bonds with, he's just like, no, and just takes them with him and leaves the rest of the gladiators to die. And Angron didn't like that. It still doesn't like that. But then again, it doesn't like anything right now. The Emperor also could fix Angron. He could fix him. He could take out the Butcher's Nails. He could fix his brain and give him the ability to be the empath he was supposed to be. He was supposed to kind of be like the group psychiatrist for the rest of the primarchs. He was going to be supposed to feel how they felt and be able to help them out with what they were feeling and how to deal with it. This is, of course, completely impossible with the Butcher's Nails.
Yeah, no. In terms of, like, everybody, in terms of the fuck situation that Angron had, I genuinely feel like his situation was completely targeted.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll get into that when we talk about, like, the Horus Heresy. Go ahead, Razor.
I thought that the Emperor couldn't remove the nails.
That was what I thought too, but no, he could. He was just like, nah.
I don't understand, because the way he dealt with some of the other Primarchs, like Vulcan's recruitment, like, and some of the other ones, like, he showed so much more compassion, and I just don't understand. It's
Mama Foxy wants you to say
writing.
Ulu.
No, it could be bad writing. It could also be that, since Angron is an empath, is supposed to be an empath, but is completely fucked up and broken, that is somehow, affecting the strongest psyker ever known to man, so you just can't feel any compassion for him. It could be that.
Maybe.
Yeah,
either way, Angron's situation is fucked up, and I feel bad for the big angry boy.
Yeah, no, out of everybody, he probably had, like, the best reason out of everybody to go traitor. Anyway, Foxy wants me to say Ubu. So there we go.
No.
Continue.
That's not happening. What else was there? Yeah, no. And at this time, when he had retrieved Angron, he had already... Well... By the time he was doing this shit with the Butcher's Nails, because it was becoming a very big problem, he had already redacted 2 legions. He could not afford to redact a 3rd one. So he took the broken asset as it was and just sent him with a legion and hoped that the camaraderie of the legion would fix him somehow. It didn't.
We got Karn out of it, at least. Karn is, like, the only thing that keeps Angron in check.
Seem to have run out of space here.
You might need to go ahead.
If you want to write it down, there it is. Take a screenshot. Okay. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. I. Yes, good.
Yes, the robot. So we were getting back to them sooner or later.
Yeah, we were touching on this guy earlier with the administratum talk, but Robuda Gilliman, the primarch of the Ultramarines. He was born, no, rather, he crash landed on Macragge, which is, as I said, Nuceria is the bad side of what Rome was. Macragge was the good side of what Rome was completely, you know, a system where everyone was treated equally and everyone earned their keep and everything was good and dandy. It still is one of the more lucrative areas in the Imperium is the Ultramar sectors. But yeah, he is probably... Yeah, he is probably the only Primarch to have had a proper mother and father growing up. Connor Gilliman and what was her name again? I always forget the name of her mother, of his mother. But
I don't. Also, just a quick thing for Blue. Papa Smurf specifically refers to their chapter master.
Yeah, but he has kind of taken over that now.
Yeah, now that Robo's back, he's definitely taken charge of the Ultramarines again. But
I forget what her name is.
we'll worry about it later.
It feels wrong because she was an incredible fucking mom.
Yeah.
She was a good, nourishing, healthy mother that raised him. He was like a huge baby, but she didn't care, and then it raised him like a proper son into adulthood, somewhere up there. Compared to her.
Right over to my corner.
Yeah. Either way, he was educated in everything, politics and combat and military strategy and all of that. He had a good upbringing. He had a stable family, a safe household in a safe part of the system, and when the Emperor came, he was like, "I'm ready. Let's go. I've been waiting for this." Probably the easiest recruitment the Emperor had, because Gilliman knew what was up. Man, okay. Is that what it is?
14?
Yeah.
Max IV, yeah.
Oh, God.
The Death Guard
not him.
and their Primarch Mortarion grew up on a planet called Barbarous, a planet so drenched in toxins and poisons from uncounted wars on the planet between differing warlords, that the only really habitable places were deep in valleys and such, and the upper gas clouds was where the warlords lived. He led what would be considered a grassroots uprising. He killed all of the warlords and such, one by one, and their armies, and taking those he deemed worthy of following him. Emperor shows up, and instead of letting him kill the last warlord, which was like his adoptive father, the Emperor just kills him and is like, let's go. So that's the reason why Mortarion was kind of pissy with the Emperor as well.
Another justified reason for going traitor, but God.
Bit of a cunt. Cunt, but not, irredeemable.
Anyway, quick addition from Blue in the text chat. Apparently, Robot's mother's name was Tarasha Yuta. That was
Yeah,
the adopted
Tarasha,
mother.
that's her name. She was an incredible mother. She was during the heresy. Fucking Conrad managed to break into the palace on Macragge and was about to fucking kill her. She did not flinch. She knew he didn't have it in him, and he was like, "You're right, I don't." He didn't have it in him. He didn't see anything guilty in her. Ah, shit, I'm getting ahead of myself here.
Yeah, no, you're probably going to need a bit more space for 15.
This is quite the name, so...
Yeah. Now we have my boy.
This is Dag's Legion, yeah. The Thousand Sons, the Primarch Magnus the Red, the most powerful psyker amongst the Primarchs. We grew up on the planet of Prospero, Space Egypt. A planet all about the whole psyker thing and pursuit of knowledge and enlightenment and all the good stuff. He lost an eye at some point, but he had an eye in his forehead already, so that kind of evens itself out. What else is there?
We talked about the Egyptian.
Actually, Dag.
Yep.
Would you like to talk about Magnus?
Yeah, you know what? I'll take the reins on this particular one.
It's your Primarch. You should talk about Magnus.
Yeah, let me go ahead and take center stage on this one. So, Magnus the Red, compared to the other Primarchs, is much less known for his governance or his tactical knowledge, but he is one hell of a researcher by comparison. The problem is with Magnus's home planet, with it being heavily influenced by Egypt, and all of that, when he went into his scholarly career, it was mostly centered around the occult, because, that's where the fun stuff is. The problem with that lies in the fact that most of the stuff that revolves around the occult, especially in Warhammer 40,000, generally leads back to the Chaos Gods in some way, shape, or form. This inevitably causes conflict with a bunch of the other Primarchs, which, we'll talk about that later if we ever talk about the Council of Nicaea. But regardless, Magnus is probably one of the best researchers of the batch. He's also second only to the Emperor in regards to how powerful of a psyker he is. In fact, he may actually be more powerful than the Emperor, considering what happens when the Horus Heresy proper ends up starting. But that's apples and oranges, who knows?
Daddy's trying to kill you.
What?
Daddy's trying to kill you. Magnus, I'm going to fucking kill you.
Look, he was doing the best that he had with the information that he was given. He was doing his best.
He was doing his best, but his best wasn't good enough. Anyways.
We'll talk about that incident later. Magnus is another one of the ones who had a very raw deal, and it's entirely understandable why he went traitor. He was trying his best not to go traitor. It's just, poor boy got shoved in a corner hard. Alright. But yeah, that's the general deal with Magnus. Powerful psyker, probably would have ended up taking the reins in terms of being the Astronomicon if it wasn't for the Horus Heresy. Handing the floor back to Sparty.
Okay. We are still on the X.
Yeah, it'd be XV1 or XVI. Oh boy. Speaking of the Horus Heresy.
You all know him long before his name precedes him. It's Horus Lupercal, the Primarch of the Luna Wolves, from the mining planet of Chthonion. He grew up as a gang boss, basically. He grew up in the criminal underworld of the planet. Quickly rose through the ranks, became basically what he was the top dog in the underworld. And of course, the Emperor eventually comes and recruits him. The man oozes charisma. Charisma is the key word when talking about Horus. He is a heartbreaker. He is the man your dad wants to be. He is an excellent warrior. He treats everyone with respect, be they marine or a normal human. The one thing that he was known for was that when he was talking to a human, because a human is much, much smaller than a Primarch, he would instead get down on his knees instead of having them look up at him while he talked. He would get on his knees to talk and look him in the eyes, because he thought that, craning your neck while talking to him all the time was probably very exhausting. So he was very much a man of the people. He was the Emperor's favorite son. He conquered vast majorities of what would become the Imperium, and eventually he was crowned War Master by the Emperor, because the Emperor had to go back to Terra in order to start with the Webway project. Of course, he didn't tell his sons about this, but that's for another time. You also know him because he is the title boy of the enormous civil war that started in the Imperium that eventually ended with the Emperor on life support.
He is partially the reason why everything is fucked nowadays.
Yeah,
it's not entirely his fault.
He was deceived.
Yeah.
He was deceived by a snake.
Either way. We'll get to it when we get to it. We're going to have to talk about Erebus when we get to the word bearers.
Of course. His legion was originally called the Luna Wolves. Then he rebranded to the Sons of Horus on the Emperor's suggestion. Actually, it became the Black Legion, but that was after his time. What else is there to say about the man? He was, when he was the Luna Wolves, he was a very kind man. He was a very kind and understanding man and a brilliant warrior. It's just a shame what happened to him.
He's kind of another situation. He was acting with what he had available when he did what he did.
Yeah.
Which ultimately just makes the falling tragic.
Which leads us to the... Actually, how does that look? That looks like ass.
No, that's accurate. That
looks like 17.
Yeah, no, it's just the angle.
Yeah. You're doing with what you can. Morgar.
The Lorgar Aurelian, the Primarch of the Word Bearers. His role was to be one of the bigger legions of the Great Crusade. He was supposed to be the one that would herald the other legions. He would be the one that would bring overwhelming force anywhere he went to try and make them either submit so they didn't have to fight, or just absolutely steamroll them. He was a doomstack in Total Warhammer. He grew up on a planet called Kolkis, a desert planet, heavily religious planet, taken in by a man called Corfarion, who was a priest and a preacher. He taught Lorgar about the religion of the planet, and Lorgar found it unacceptable. So instead, he wrote what would be eventually become known as the Divinito Lectato Divinito, or The Bible book, the one where the Emperor is worshipped as a god. Lorgar is also the root of, the root of all the problems when it comes to the primarchs.
Not necessarily Lorgar itself, but
but like in terms of like the primarchs, he is the root.
Yeah.
He was a kind man too. He tried to do things peacefully. He would spend copious amounts of time like negotiating, being diplomatic, and ensuring a bloodless transfer of power to the Imperium. And at some fucking point, the Emperor just snapped. I still to this day do not know why he did this, but he was chill about the whole thing of Lorgar being like very religious and like the whole, and finding potential even in the Lectitio Divinatis and the power of faith and all of that. But at some point, the Emperor just completely did a 180. He ordered Gilliman to raise a planet named Monarchia, which was, as Lorgar would put it, the perfect city. It was a planet that was fully compliant to the Imperium, fully reverent of the Emperor as a god. They were ready to do anything for the master of mankind. So, the Emperor has Gilliman blast the city to fine fucking ash. And then when he wouldn't listen to Malcador, because Malcador was there too, Malcador was brought the message, but when he wouldn't listen to Malcador, he himself showed up and forced his entire legion through psychic power to make them kneel, a feat akin to a god, just to tell them, stop worshipping me like a god. Yeah. He is, He is very abused.
The Emperor might be a little dumb, I think.
You think?
Might be a little bit of an asshole.
Yeah.
Shows up, demonstrates godly might, says don't worship me like a god.
Leaves.
Yeah.
So that is basically what started Lorgar's like fall to chaos and the whole fucking shebang. Let's see, we're almost there. Let's see.
You're at the home stretch, buddy. You're doing good.
The Roman numerals are hard. The salamanders, their primarch Vulcan.
Yeah, we go from caused everything bad to happen to actually the best boy.
Yeah, no, a man of fucking infinite kindness. He was a smith on a planet named Nocturne, a planet of constant and uninterrupted volcanic activity. The reason why his skin is, and this is not a racist term or anything, but his skin is coal black and his eyes are like glowing red, is because of the environment of the planet made a organ within his body that all Space Marines also have go into overdrive. It basically takes the waste material of your body, instead of turning it into pee and poo, it turns it into a protective layer that forms underneath the skin, and it takes on a very black hue to protect from extreme heat and extreme cold. So, he kind of got stuck like that. But yeah, very humanitarian, very caring about people, an excellent smith.
There was that one time that he ended up setting a planet on fire because he found the populace worshipping Eldar. And I'm convinced that's because he had a very bad experience with the Drukhari more than anything else.
Yeah. I don't really have much to say about Vulcan. He's really nice. He's a good warrior. He's a really good smith. And his legion is really good too. They really, really like fire. and walking into lava and fire themselves to test themselves.
Vulcan is kind of in the unfortunate scenario where Games Workshop doesn't like him as much as some of the other Primarchs, so he doesn't get as much more.
For me, the weird thing about Vulcan is that he's still alive. He's just kind of out there. He's like, I'm not coming back until you find the One Piece. And his whole chapter is like, oh man, we gotta go on a treasure hunt, and they still haven't finished, and he still hasn't come back.
They're looking for 7 artifacts and something, and then he'll return.
The Dragon Balls.
And the Corvus Corax, the Primarch of the Raven Guard.
Yay!
He is a gloomy motherfucker. He is very much about stealth, subterfuge, sneaky stuff that Marines usually don't do, and jump packs.
Sneaky.
Yeah, he loves jump packs.
Snipers.
Yeah, they're kind of Native American inspired a little bit.
Yeah.
They
I'd
are
say that.
really good snipers and just huntsmen. They will track down any fucking target and make sure they're dead.
Basically,
I think that if I were to make a legion, I would use those guys.
Yeah,
they're really
you
good
say that?
at
Go ahead,
keeping
Tom.
things, at keeping things competent and secret. His legion is the most practical. He's the most akin to what a modern day military would be.
Yeah, I was about to say. If you wanted to play a Space Marine faction and roughly do like real world modern military door kicker tactics, you go Raven Guard. More than any of the other factions, you go Raven Guard.
Or one of their descendant legion the chapters called the Raptors. They are even more military. They are
more like Green Beret high speed low track. But
what would be like what would be more like Cold War era military, where we're not really kicking in the doors, but we're still beating your ass if you come see us.
That would be the Raptors, 100%.
Yeah,
That's Raptors. Yeah, that is a descendant chapter of them. They do stuff like camouflage and all of that shit that the military does. They rely on vehicles and support, and they work with guardsmen. Yeah. They do combined arms, all of that stuff.
And speaking of Cold War era bullshit, if you want to go a step further beyond and go full-on Black Ops shenaniganery, look no further than the Alpha Legion.
The double X, huh?
Yeah, the 20th Primarch. The last one to be found. Or is it?
Alfarius. The hell was that noise?
Yeah. Alfarius and Omegon. They are twin Primarchs of the Alpha Legion. They are, like Dag said, they are Black Ops. They are about working with mortal humans as operatives and spies and intel gatherers and doing all these elaborate things for operations. For example, before the Siege of Terra, the Alpha Legion infiltrated Terra through sleeper cells on the planet. They had Marines of their Legion buried underneath the sands of the wastelands of the planet, where only the operatives that were briefed on it would know where they are, and they would lay in a sus and coma until they were unburied and resuscitated. And they would only respond to code phrases, and that code phrase would unlock a specific set of memories in their brain that would allow them to do the operation they need to do. They are pre-learned, they're pre-trained, everything was pre-planned. They are always prepared to do the most devious shit. And who the fuck knows who is an Alpha Legionnaire and who is not? Who is an operative of theirs, who is not? Like another thing they did was to smuggle weapons and armor into the Imperial Palace itself, was that they had operatives, specific serfs, people working as serfs and lower level menials and all of that, they were given a small piece, a small inconspicuous piece of something or another. They would go to this specific place underneath the palace in the catacombs and hide it in a very, very, very specific place. Then they would leave, and another operative would kill them, and then go in with his part and do the same. And that would be there until we had like a complete bolter, a complete set of power armor, grenades, and everything they needed to do their job.
Jeez.
And like, this is the kind of shit they pre-planned for. The fucking shit in Metal Gear 5 with Ahab and Ishmael. That shit is like surface level for the Alpha Legion. They are fucking nuts.
Yeah, going even further deeper than that, Alpharius is... Okay, so with the rest of the Primarchs, there's generally a size difference between all of them. Between, like, the Primarch and then the rest of the Marines. So the Primarch would be about my size. The rest of the Marines would be around shoulder level to maybe a little bit below. Alpharius would be around the same size as his Marines. Which has obviously led to some really fucked up shit.
Like, his Marines, all the Marines of his Legion were slightly bigger than normal Marines, and they were also smaller than Primarchs, so they could blend in, and every Marine in the Legion is sculpted to perfection to look like their Primarch. The only way you could tell that they were different is by, like, minute details, by, like, staring at their face long enough, or by the way they carry themselves. And even then, that can change at a moment's notice.
Yeah, because they're very good at changing their own posture at a moment's notice, just to maintain their cover. Alpharius
so these guys are in charge of all the different Space Marine legions?
Yes.
Yeah, these are all the generals of every legion that was during the Great Crusade.
Okay.
They were generals. They were everything the Emperor needed. They were generals. They were diplomats, politicians.
Yeah.
Everything you could imagine is necessary. They did it.
Settlers, if
so fucking be. Yes, anything. They were designed to be anything.
Okay.
The only reason they aren't is because they grew up on different planets and grew separate personalities and such.
Some cases it was beneficial, in other cases, holy fucking shit, poor Angron.
In other cases, we end up with Redacted.
Redacted, Angron, fucking Lorgar.
Redacted the second.
Redacted, and redacted.
We still have no idea whether or not Alpharius is actually a traitor or if he's just playing the long game.
Alpharius is dead.
It's Omegon this time?
Yeah. Alpharius and Omegon are dead, but they won't tell you that. Dorn killed Alpharius, and I think the Khan killed Omegon.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. Like, Omegon.
But no one was going to say that.
Yeah, Omegon was in a coma until Alpharius died, and then he was activated. It was a literal case of V has come to.
Yeah.
It is the shit with the Alpha Legion is just, it boggles the mind. You really need to pay attention when reading their books. And that covers it for all the Primarchs. That is
cool.
Someone died. That is all 20 of them. And about fucking time too. Anyways, now that is done, any questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Where did the tech priest come into this?
The Adeptus Mechanicus is technically their... I got that fucking wrong. The Mechanicus is technically their own independent entity. They're not officially part of the Imperium as
the Imperium of Man.
They're not part of this shit.
Yeah, no, they are there to provide ships, weapons, servitors, and all the technology ever needed ever. Of course, Ferrus Manus and his legion are very deep buddies with the Mechanicus because they love fucking augmenting their shit. But yeah, no. Otherwise, the Mechanicus is a completely separate entity. It is often called the twin empires of, the Imperium of Man and the Mechanicus.
Okay.
But they are very integrated into one another.
Oh, okay. So we'll learn more about the Mechanicus later then, I hope?
Yeah, I'll talk about the Mechanicus someday.
Yeah, if we do...
I'd like to learn about them.
Yeah, Mechanicus definitely have like a lot of interesting, like specific lore.
I'd like to learn about them.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely be worth
I'd like to get them to know more about them.
But that is for another time because my throat is dry as balls.
Yeah.
Yeah. Any other questions?
You did friggin' amazing.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. But I'm guessing that is everything everyone wanted to know.
I guess so.
The chat sometime. For those who are sitting in the chat right now, is there anything that you would like to ask our dear tech priest over here? I have no idea how far behind my stream is at this point. Why do you keep doing that?
It's funny, giving you glasses. Now you can see.
Where the fuck is my eraser? Ah, fuck! Oh, God, I keep doing that.
Cark in hell.
Yeah, don't see too much of a response from chat right now, so I'm
that's fine.
Yeah.
What was I gonna
say? It's
say?
the first time we're doing this, and it's at a weird hour for when I normally stream.
I could have been one of those boring ass teachers who fucking just puts a video on and sits down, but no.
No, you're amazing.
I make my vocal cords bleed for you guys.
Okay, sit down, class. We're going to watch If the Emperor Had a Text-to-Speech.
It is so wildly inaccurate that it feels like a lot of it is jokes and just
it's supposed to be jokes, but for some reason there are people who take like the stuff discussed in it as gospel.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, it's still a fun series. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely worth watching.
It is good comedy in Warhammer, but it's not, it's not accurate.
It's not necessarily accurate to the source material, but boy, is it funny.
Yeah.
In the slightest.
It's basically Warhammer abridged.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a good way to look at it.
And even then, they're like making their own plots and shit as well, so,
Bean
just
says,
like an
I
abridged
got here
series
late,
would.
yet I have no questions because he is good at teaching. Congratulations, Sparty.
Uh-huh.
Alright.
Don't ever call me again.
You're gonna get called back. We're going to do Warhammer lore again.
No.
Anyway, we've been going for about 2 hours, so I think that is a good time to call it for tonight. Thank you so much for everybody who has tuned in, and thank you to everybody who has joined us tonight. Ring, 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 I'm calling you. Am I getting called right now?
No, it was a joke in response to Sparty saying, "Don't call me again."
Oh, okay. Party in chat. Yeah. But yeah, I think that is a excellent place to call it for tonight. We managed to get through 2 Warhammer adjacent topics, and that basically brings everybody up to speed with like the essentials to know about the Imperium as a whole.
Dag, is it time?
My earbuds have just yelled at me, saying, "Please recharge."
Dag, is it time for the bit?
Go ahead and do your bit.
It is time for the retro.
Let me get over and start setting up the raid into Vicky. Why the rats? Why the rats?
Oh, wait.
It's always the rat.
Wait. So it's all started with the war in heaven.
No, Sparty, no, not to war in heaven. Not yet. No.
Too far, too far.
No, we're not doing war in heaven yet. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good one. I'll see you all on Monday.